So in this third lecture we will discuss about various types of TDM. Is basically classification of the TDM system, then synchronization of the TDM system, synchronous TDM, asynchronous TDM, advantage and disadvantage of your synchronous TDM system. Also for your asynchronous, so difference between synchronous and asynchronous, difference between time division multiplexing and frequency division multiplexing, and the application of multiplexing system. So these 8 points, key points, we will discuss in our class. Time division multiplexing is basically classified as synchronous TDM, and another one is your asynchronous TDM. So we have also types of communication like synchronous communication and asynchronous communication. Synchronous communication means where the synchronization is required, means synchronization pulse is required between input and output, and also synchronization is required for a multiple number of input signals. So that is your synchronous TDM. And in case of your asynchronous TDM, no synchronization is required. Architecture of your synchronous TDM system. So in synchronous TDM system, this is very useful for both analog as well as your digital signal. In this message signal input section, so we have 3 message signal, message A, B and C. So 3 message signals are there, and these message signals are classified as A1, A2, A3, B1, B2, B3, C1, C2, C3. What is A1, A2, A3? A1, A2, A3 are the basically your time pulse. So this time pulse is shown here. So see, let this is the A1, A2 and A3, and another one for B, also there will be B1, B2, B3, C for C, C1, C2, C3. So different time spans are there. So a rotary switch or rotating switch is there, which is basically known as commutator, and this commutator is rotating at anti-clockwise direction in your transmitter section, and at receiver section this rotary switch is rotating in clockwise direction. So the directions are reversed. Actually we have to take the data. So when the rotary switch rotates, first C it takes the data A1, then B1 and C1. So for the frame 1 we get here, for frame 1 we get A1, B1, C1. Then for one, after completing one rotation, there is A2, B2, C2, means this is your frame number 2, and in frame 3 you have again A3, B3, C3, and in between each of the frame we have a space, and this space is basically known as your dead time, because this time has not been utilized for any of the application. So this time is known as your dead time. So in case of your synchronous communication or synchronous TDM, we have dead time, and in case of your FDM we have guard band. Actually this dead time is used to separate the frames, frame 1, frame 2, frame 3, and at the demodulation section when the signals are again chopped, so see we are getting from the last signal. So A3, B3, C3, A1, A2, B2, C2, then A1, B1, C1. So we are combining the data as A1, A2, A3 in this direction, same as given in the input section. See in the input section A1, A2, A3. So this is the basic application, or this is the basic architecture how the synchronous TDM system works. So another one example of this synchronous TDM. See here the same clock pulse are required, A1, A2, A3, B1, B2, B3, C1, C2, C3. So the same thing has been shown here with a different thing, that here in frame number 1, see in frame number 1 the total width of the pulse is T, or the time of the frame 1 is T, and the number of slot is 3. So it is divided by T by 3, or if the number of input is n, if the number of message signal is n, then it is divided as T by n. Actually these things we have discussed in our previous class today. In time division multiplexing, see this is the third example where the message A is divided again A1, A2, A3, and B is divided in B1 and B2. C is divided as C1 and C2. So in this diagram we have no symbols in B, also we have no symbols in C. So when we have no symbols, then what happens? It is not possible to present the symbols all times, কারণ কোনো একটা কমিউনিকেশনের সময় সবসময় যে সিম্বল থাকবে সেটা নাও থাকতে পারে। So we get in anti-clockwise direction, so we get a frame as A1, B1 and a blank space. It again complete the second message, it cuts the second message. So then we are getting a frame A2 blank space C1. So we get A2 blank space C1, and after completing the second cycle of the commutator, it again passes A3, B3 and C2. So A3, B2 and C2. So here we have two blank space. Actually these blank space are unutilization of the time frame. So actually these time frames are of same duration, because all the time frames are of time t, duration of the time slots are t. For all the frame we have same time space. The duration of the pulse are same as t by 3. So the each duration is same. So here we have two blank time space. Actually this time space does not contain any symbol or any message 1 or 0. So this will be one example of the system. So take a telephony system has 24 wires channel. Over separate wires, a PAM signal is generated with a clock frequency of 8 kHz. Design the PAM TDM system and assume that 8-bit quantizer is used. For PAM system, we need quantization, sampling, quantization and encoding. These are the three basic steps of PAM. So to convert one analog signal to digital signal, we have the three basic steps as sampling, second one is your quantization, and encoding. So here 8-bit quantizer are used. So how do you apply this concept into a telephone system? So see, the given frequency is given here, fs, the sampling frequency, see here the sampling frequency is given 8 kilohertz. So what will be the clock frequency, means that is the sampling frequency. So we have to calculate the modulating frequency. So then say the sampling frequency is 8 kilohertz, or we can say 8000 symbols per second. So the sampling is quantized by a quantizer of 8 bits. Therefore the sampling duration Ts is equals to 1 upon Fs, because Ts is equals to 1 upon Fs, and Fs is given as 8 kilohertz. In your problem the sampling frequency is given here 8 kilohertz. So what is the frame duration, or what is the duration of the frame? So duration of the frame will be 125 microsecond. Is it clear? So in this problem, again yes, in this problem we are showing that we have 8 kilohertz sampling frequency. Sampling frequency means your Fs. So Fs is your sampling frequency, and that is your Fs sampling frequency is equals to given as 8 kilohertz. So this sampling frequency is given. So we know the sampling interval or sampling time Ts is equals to 1 upon Fs. So that is equals to 1 divided by 8 kilohertz. Kilohertz means into multiply by 1000. So so this has been done, and the frame duration means your time is 125 microsecond. So see here the duration is 125 microsecond is shown here. So that is your total frame size. Clear? Next, what you have to find? You have to find the system design, or you have to find the bit rate, bandwidth, these things. And the total number of bits, here how many channels are there? Total 24 voice channels are there, and the channel is 24 voice channel, and each of the channel is 8 bit, because 8 bit quantizer is used here. So if 8 bit quantizer is used, so the signal will be multiplied by 24 into 8, means one single message has 8 number of bit. So this is known as 8 bit quantizer. If we use 4 bit quantizer, then each of the message frame has only 4 bit. So as we have here 8 bit quantizer, so we can assume, so in 8 bit quantizer we have 8 bits are there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7, also another one 8. So these 8 frames are there. So you can assume these frames are as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So as 24 number of channels are there, so like this way 24 number of channels will come here, and if 24 number of channels will come here, so again that will be another one means 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you can say 8 frames are there. So like that way, how many bits will be there for 24 number of channels? So 24 multiplied by 8. So these 8 bits are there, but there is a sync pulse, that is synchronization pulse is required for your TDM, and as this is your synchronous TDM, so there should be one sync pulse by default. You have to add this pulse. So the total number of pulse will be 193, or total number of bits will be 193 bits. So here 193 bits will be shown here. So total number of bits is equals to 193, and therefore the time duration between the bits. So time duration TD is equals to time duration between the bits, means number of time duration between the bits is your time duration is your total time divided by number of bits. So what is the total time? Total time is here, the frame duration is equals to 125 microsecond divided by your number of bits. So in this equation the number of bits is equals to 193 bits. So if you divide them, then you will get the bit duration is 0.64. So what is 0.64? So 0.647 is the bit duration. Here see in point number 5, so in this space that is the bit duration, means each and every bit is 0.647, and also this one is 0.647, and this one is also 0.647, like that way 0.647. Each and every bit has a time span of 0.647. And the frame duration, and what is the frame duration? Frame duration means the total time of the frame. So if we take about the last frame, means this one, so how many bits are there? Total 8 number of bits are there. So 8 will be multiplied by 0.647 multiplied by 8, so that will be in your microsecond. So 5.176 microsecond. So these types of problems are generally used to calculate the frame duration, bit duration, and to understand about the TDM multiplexing system. And this TDM is basically your synchronous TDM, so that one pulse will be added here for your synchronization, extra pulse. So the advantage and disadvantage of TDM. So in advantage of TDM, we can say an order is maintained. So like A1, A2, A3, B1, B2, B3, C1, C2, C3, like this way order will be maintained. So no addressing information is required, and channel capacity should be very large. And as why channel capacity is very large? Because no frame is here wastage. কোনো frame এখানে দেখো wastage হয়নি. Without symbol, they are also representing a dead space. So we can say no time is wastage, or no time span is wastage. And the disadvantage, the high bit rate is required, and there is a wastage of bandwidth if no input signal is present at one channel. So that I have told you in this example. If we don't have any input signal here, so we can say there is a wastage of time. If we don't have any input signal here present over here, if we don't have any input signal in this position, also we don't have any input signal in this section, so there is an utilization of the time. So this is the disadvantage of your synchronous time division multiplexing, and this synchronous TDM is replaced with the help of your asynchronous time division multiplexing. An example of your TDM, synchronous TDM system, is that real time streaming. Like example, we are talking in Google Meet. So Google Meet is synchronizing our bits at every interval of time. So you can say the IPTV, video conferencing, IP telephony, means in which the real telephony systems are used, are example of your synchronous TDM. And what is asynchronous TDM? In asynchronous TDM, we use different signals at different sampling is also different. But in case of your synchronization, there was a single clock pulse. But in case of your asynchronous, there is no need to be same of your sampling rate. The sampling rate can be different, and it does not need a clock generator. এবং এর ক্ষেত্রে আমাদের কোনো ক্লক জেনারেটরের দরকার হয় না. If the device has nothing for transmitting, then the time slot is assigned to a new device, means the next one. Bandwidth is also low and the type in this type of multiplexing. And the examples of file transfer, email, World Wide Web. So World Wide Web, why? Because whenever we are browsing some data or browsing some website, it is not required that the data packet will come in a synchronous way, means it may come. Sometimes image are loading but the data are displaying, and sometimes image are not loaded because they are corrupted, but the words are also in present of our screen. So these are the example of your asynchronous TDM. So in case of your asynchronous TDM, see in this user 2, where I am marking, in this user 2, B1 and B2, means the frame size is 3 bit, but we have B1, B2, C and D1, D2. These streams are there. So in B, means in second user, we have a blank space in second time slot. In C, for user C, there is 2 blank time slot are there, 1 and 2, and in D there is only a single time slot is blank, means in time slot 3. So what happens when a commutator rotates, then this commutator takes, there is also one commutator, and this commutator takes A1, B1, then blank space D1. So the synchronized bit will be like that: A1, A1, B1, there is a blank space and D1. But see, this will be our frame in case of your synchronous TDM, but in asynchronous TDM, see in the above diagram, in asynchronous TDM there is no blank space is there, means we have only A1, we have only A1, we have B1 and we have D1. A blank space has been removed. For the second we have A2, blank space, blank, and again we have D2. So we can say if we have the frame, then we can write the frame as like this. So we have A2, blank space, means no data symbols is there, again another one blank space, then D2. But these 2 blank space have not been used because D has been used in this position. So for the second, A2 and D2 is there. And in case of your third, when the commutator rotates in the third time, it has the pulse A3, B2, C1 and blank space. So they are coming as A3, B2, C1, and there is also one blank space, but the blank space has not been shown here. So this is actually your asynchronous multiplexing or asynchronous TDM. So in this asynchronous TDM, we don't have any unused or wastage time span, but in case of your synchronous, if the message symbol is not there, so there is a wastage of time. So there is also there. And the advantage of asynchronous TDM is that channel bandwidth can be utilized for each channel, means the total channel bandwidth can be utilized. Intermodulation distortion cannot occur, and low capacity network is serviced and circuit is somehow simple. And the disadvantage of this asynchronous TDM is that frames has different size, they require buffer and address information is needed. So the difference between, or in summary we can say, the difference between the synchronous and asynchronous TDM is that in synchronous multiplexer allocates the same time slot, but in asynchronous TDM the multiplexer does not allocate the same time slot for each device. In synchronous TDM the number of slots per frame are equal, but in case of your asynchronous TDM the number of frame size are different. The number of slots per frame are less than the number of input lines or maybe equal to number of lines, and there is no guarantee that full capacity link is used, because there can be some blank space. So how the channel capacity can be utilized, but in case of your asynchronous TDM there is a guarantee that full capacity link is used. As there is no blank space in asynchronous TDM, there is no blank space or dead space is there, as no any blank space or blank frame is there. So there is the total utilization of the bandwidth is happens, and time slots are fixed in case of your synchronous TDM, and time slots are not fixed in case of your asynchronous TDM. And last but not the least, about the difference between the frequency division multiplexing and time division multiplexing. So frequency division multiplexing means the sharing of frequency or frequency domain take place, and in case of your time division multiplexing, time sharing take place. While FDM works with only analog signals, but TDM works with analog as well as digital signal. So in frequency division multiplexing, to avoid the overlapping of the signals, we require a guard band, but in case of your time division multiplexing, synchronization pulse is required. So in frequency division multiplexing, synchronization is not required, but in case of your time division multiplexing, synchronization is required, and FDM suffers from crosstalk and TDM suffers from intersymbol interference, ISI. So the multiplexing, what are the applications of multiplexing? So after studying the chapter, we have learned that these multiplexing techniques are broadly used in our telecommunication, in our computer networks. Like it can be used in your video broadcasting, in analog broadcasting, telephony, telegraphy. So these are the application area or major area of multiplexing. So thank you.